Hi, Danielle.
Hey, how you
Hey,
doing?
good, good. Thank you so much for joining in. I was like so excited to have you here. Like this week, I literally had three lives, but I wanted to squeeze you in, so I just made a third live because I really wanted to chat. I think you have a really interesting journey on LinkedIn, and then we're gonna all talk about it. So why don't you start by introducing yourself? Like, who are you, Danielle?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Daniel Murray. I'm the Senior Marketing Operations Manager at ServiceTitan. I started my LinkedIn journey like 9 months ago. Kind of, it's funny. I was doing what a typical marketer would do is test the platform. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
organic reach in LinkedIn is crazy. Like a person with 1,000 followers could get 100,000 likes, and no other platform could do that. Let me do it. And then it then turned into like a passion for me to like start posting and sharing my marketing journey and also sharing marketing tips and tricks to everybody. So that's how like that's a little bit about me.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty impressive growth on LinkedIn, and everything is like organic. And I know, you told me you're not using pods, and then so for everyone who doesn't know why don't you tell people what is a pod?
Yeah, pod's just basically an engagement group of people. Some people use like a software which is automated where you can basically
Mm-hmm.
um, set your post and a bunch of people will you're telling a bunch of people to go like it. And then there's also like
Mm-hmm.
a there's also like smaller pods, which I'm not gonna lie, I do sometimes send my post to people to because I think they
Mm-hmm.
would find value from it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I'm not totally for pods is because it takes away from like the audience part of it, where like
Mm-hmm.
I want to have just marketers organically come to my post, and if they like it, they like
Mm-hmm.
it, not like it because I'm saying like it.
Yep.
So that's
Okay.
my theory on it. I mean, I'm not against pods. I think it is a good way to hack growth on LinkedIn, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of influencers do it, and good for them. And I think, I mean, I'm not. I think it's a good marketing strategy, but I just like the organic side of LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love what you. So you said 9 months ago. Was it January of this year or December of
So
last year?
December of last year, like actually
Okay.
maybe like end of November, like I just started posting every day. Had no
Okay.
idea what I was doing. Had definitely no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
I just started posting stuff about marketing, stuff about like self help, some stuff about like giving advice to people in their
Mm-hmm.
20s. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, okay, let me just start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, which is that I think anybody who just starts, like if you're uncomfortable of doing it, just start and you'll learn as you grow.
Okay. So what exactly did you do besides posting every day? Like was that all you did, or what else did you do on LinkedIn to actually grow?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started following people that were influential in my space. And I started
Mhm.
studying what they were doing and studying like
Mm.
their post structure. I was studying like what people were saying to about in their comments, like
Mhm.
and then I just literally took their structure and I was like, okay, let me
Mhm.
put it in my structure. And I think like the biggest thing that I would say in marketing and just life, it's like sometimes it's better not to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just innovate on the wheel
Mm.
that already exists.
Yep,
Um,
exactly. Okay.
um,
Cuz you
yeah, so
Go ahead.
that's my theory on like just like LinkedIn in general. Like you could try do something special, but usually like if you just do the structure that works, it will work.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so who are the influencers you were studying and paying attention to?
Yeah, so Chris Walker's one, Dave
Mhm.
Gearhart is one,
Mhm.
Udi from Gong was one, like Shawnee was one. Um,
Mhm.
there's a bunch I could like start going naming off a lot. Justin
Mhm.
Welsh, like they were all doing it like great.
Yep.
And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, um, the one thing that I knew about them and probably Shawnee was the probably the one that like helped me the most because she came from like sort of this like journey from like, she talks about it, like she wasn't like the CMO or anything like that, and she grew like her following crazily. And I'm like, if Shawnee could do it, I could do it. And if
Mhm.
these people could do it, I could do it. So I just started giving advice, and people, once I started
Mhm.
doing their structure and started posting that way, like slowly started growing. And then I saw like a peak growth, like I would say like 6 months in. So it took me like 6 months of just posting and getting average engagement and not many people following
Mhm.
me to like find that like stride.
Okay. So what about their structure that you felt was working?
Yeah, great question. I think they, and this is a marketing, first of all, I just saw it and I'm like, this is marketing 101, right? Like
Mhm.
you have to have a good first line. Like the first line of
Mhm.
your
Yep.
post is so crucial. Like,
Mhm.
and LinkedIn, like the first line is great, and then the next two lines are even more are crucial because you want someone to go click see more.
Mhm.
And once they click
Yep.
see more, like they,
Mhm.
but you, like in marketing, every line has to like make you want to read the next line. So you have to structure in a way that it brings them in with emotion and then gives them something valuable.
Mhm.
So you start something emotional, and you do this really well because you like
Mhm.
say something about like that hits hard about money, right? Like, and like
Mhm.
people could relate to it, and then you go give it like a tips and trick to help
Mhm.
them like with that money tip. So um, I think like that's the way to do it. Is like something that really is like a common feeling that every marketer is having or every finance person's having or something. You start with that,
Mhm.
or something that's shocking. Like, did you know like did you know that like you're in the top 10% of people if you have $20 in your bank and no debt? Like, and
Mhm.
like people are like, oh really? Like I want to read more about this. Like stuff like that is
Yeah.
like you have to like
Yeah.
reel people in, and you have to be entertaining too. You can't just like
Mhm.
be boring and dry. People want to read entertainment because
Mhm.
what I've learned about content in general lately is that um, the propensity for good content is getting
Mhm.
higher and higher. So, like, good content is rising to the top. So, like, if you create good content, it will rise above people who are creating average content.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing to make good content is be relatable, be understood, and be authentic. And I think like it's going back again, I think that's why you've been successful on LinkedIn, because you show your authentic side. You show like you help with a problem that exists. Like you like it's a topic that people want to learn about, and you're providing value every day. Like there's no reason not to follow someone that does that. Like you're not talking about me all day. You're talking about like, let me
Yep.
help you be better about
Oh
this.
yeah, I'm like 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. Follow me, networking. So, I don't know how you feel about those networking posts.
No, I mean, I think like achievements are good. Like it shows that you're authentic, you're
Mhm.
proud of yourself, but it's not like every post that you're saying like
I I I've seen some people like almost every day the networking. So it was fun for a bit, but then after that, you're like, do you have any other content?
yeah, it's like because my whole thing is like you build you could have 100,000 followers on LinkedIn, but if they don't care what you are posting about it, and if they, and this is the one key is if they're not like super active on LinkedIn, like it doesn't
Mhm.
really matter. Like um I see people with 2,000 followers beating people with like 120,000 followers because they're posting every day. They're consistent, they're authentic, they're engaging with other people, they're doing the steps that it takes to be successful on this
Mhm.
platform. So I think like the authentic being, you could be about me sometimes. I think like, and sometimes you like people want to see the side that you want to like talk about yourself and like show your story. And I think it's cool, like sometimes to say like, hey, like give the opportunity for people to network. Like
Mhm.
it's hard. Like people who are into money, like want to meet other people who are into money. So you're giving them an opportunity to do that. I think
Mhm.
it's not a bad thing, and I think what you're doing is a lot of what influencers do anyway. Like if you go into um, Instagram or TikTok or any of those other platforms, they're like you see over 1 million, and then they have like a cake like of their 1 million followers that they got. Like so,
Yeah.
it's not like something that's not going on. So I actually kind of like that type of stuff.
Mhm. Okay. So when it comes to like you said the first line, second line is good. So what do you think of those to capitalize all first line versus not capitalize? So I did play around with those and then like some people are like against capitalizing the first line. So what do you think of that? Like what is usually your method for attention grabbing? Do you just focus on like what will make people click and interesting or do you also do like capitalize your first line?
I totally like I write my first line like over and over
Mhm.
more than the rest of the post, but I kind of follow like a kind of there like three or four different things that I've always put in my post. Like one is like I will put in something that will create emotion,
Mm,
like I'm embarrassed today. Like that's everybody has
mhm,
that feeling. Like and it's short, like attention grabbing. Like why is he embarrassed? Or do a crazy specific stat. Like I'll be like, guess what? I had 1,200,454 like views on my post on LinkedIn. Like people are like, oh,
mhm,
crazy. And that's believable because it actually is what I had. So it's like to the exact number. It's not like I put something thing or like an aha moment, like something that you don't know, like something that's
mhm,
actionable. I
mhm.
think that's like a good way to start, and also like something that's trending, a trending topic. So like
Okay.
I've posted stuff like about one of my best posts was about like Harvard charging $50,000 for Zoom classes. Like that's something
Mhm,
that's trending. Like that's something that people will be like, "Whoa, that's crazy," and some people will be like, "Oh no, Harvard is like deserves to do that because they've created a brand." So it's like it's a topic that people can also debate on, but it's
mhm,
something that's in the news right now that people can capitalize on. So there's a couple different things
mhm.
that I do in my first line.
So how do you find trending topic?
Um, by listening to if you read your comments and read other people's comments, you can see trending like things that show up like in the comments that people continue asking for. That's one great way.
Mm.
I think another way is Twitter is a great place to find things that are trending.
Oh, I don't use Twitter. I don't get Twitter, so
But it's just a great place. Like you'll see things like last night, for example, there was an earthquake in like Los Angeles, and like it started shaking. And the first place I went was not like Google. I went to Twitter to see what if it, like how big the were they, or was it in Los Angeles? I like that's like the instant news source that like I will
Mhm,
go to look at like trending topics that are happening.
mhm. Got it. Okay, cool. What about Instagram? Do you use Instagram for anything?
Yeah, I mean, I love Instagram. I I think that Instagram. I just love social media in general. I think Instagram's a great place to like if you just follow good creators, they do things pretty much the same, right? They are being consistent. They post
Mhm,
pretty much every day, whether it's their story or their feed. Um, they're either creating entertainment, they're creating like a value add, they're
mhm,
creating something informative, they're creating news, but they're creating something that sparks someone to go look at them every day.
mhm,
Whether it's something that they can gain from it, like LinkedIn. I think the reason why I think there's not many that like LinkedIn has a lesser amount of influencers because I think it's way easier and besides the editing stuff and the thing to post like a very cute picture of yourself than post like a thoughtful idea.
mhm,
I think it's way easier to do that. Unless like I mean, I just think that's why Instagram has exploded. Like it's just like your feed of photos. Twitter didn't explode. Twitter is a great place for this too. Like it's there's not many great influencers on Twitter because they're posting. They're it's hard to post an idea, a thoughtful idea. Um,
Mhm.
so I think like Instagram is a great place to find great, and that was like my first love was Instagram. Like I think that's a great platform. I think it's so smart, so simple to use, so intuitive. Like it helps you connect. But yeah, I mean, social platforms are cool. They all have different purposes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to grow on Instagram too, but I noticed that if you post like a text picture, it doesn't go too far. But if you post picture of yourself, even though the caption is not necessarily connected to the picture, you should go farther. So I
Mhm.
so I don't know, like what advice do you have for someone who's trying to grow on Instagram?
I've
Especially
always,
like I think like go ahead.
I've always like, Instagram was a hard thing to crack because like just like LinkedIn, right? The reason why like people are successful on LinkedIn right now is like there's a content deficit in on LinkedIn. So like when there's a content
Oh,
deficit, like people like there's more demand for content and then people like less people posting so that you can your stuff rise to the top of the platform. Instagram has a on content surplus. So
oh,
now it's harder to get that organic reach. It's hard to get that stuff. So like my my advices would be like take people like from your audience that you have on LinkedIn and push them over to follow you on on on
Instagram,
Instagram.
right?
Yeah, like that's what people are doing on TikTok right now, right? TikTok has a super good organic reach.
Mm,
And the reason why the other people they're growing on Instagram, they wouldn't have grown on Instagram organically. Like TikTok is
mhm.
the reason why they're growing on Instagram. They're pushing people on
Oh,
the platform. Like I would, if you want people to more people to follow you on Instagram, I would like say like let's connect outside of this platform. I want to be friends. Like go connect with me on my Instagram page and everybody go connect with her on Instagram. She needs more followers there.
okay, cool. So,
Mm.
okay, so let's talk about content type. I think like the for the all the content I've seen you post, it's mostly text posts. So, what do you think about the different content types, or like, do you? I don't think I ever saw a video of you. This is like the first time we've been on video, like on LinkedIn. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on the different content type, on what works best, on yeah.
Yeah, I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for all content types, except
Mm-hmm.
links and posts. Like I think that's the only one I'm against in this platform. But um, I think the reason why I never do video is not because I don't believe it works. I don't do it because I know that I'm not that good at it. um,
That's why you're
so
here. See, I don't do videos anymore either because I'm not a video editor. I'm like, oh, I shop on live anyway, so this is better. It's raw, it's live, unedited, whatever. So
yeah, I'm just not good at it. And like
yeah,
Gary Vaynerchuk, like he's a if you don't know him, I bet everybody knows him. But he's like he said like double down on the content you're good at. And I think like text is like what I'm comfortable and I know I could succeed with. Like audio, I've always been like afraid of audio and stuff like that. And I am starting to venture in on that. Like I have plans to start a podcast soon and I have plans I video of my this is like probably the only type of video I'll do is like a talk with someone. Like I don't think I'll post that. I
yeah.
just know it's not my personality. So I think like if you're good at video and the people who are good at video, post video. If you're good at
Yeah,
audio, post audio. If you're good at
yeah,
writing, post writing. Like
yeah.
post what you're good at. Like the way you communicate the best, like that's how I would post.
Mhm.
So I text is how I like communicating, but other people are really good at video. Like they kill it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah. Yep.
so
I know one like Jonathan Palmer. He was actually a guest too. Yeah, he does videos really really well, and so yeah. So I think do I think what works best for you, what speaks to you. Don't try to copy people. It's like, oh, the other person's doing videos, so I gotta do video. But it's like you have to do like what really works for you, everyone. So I think like you kind of know your strength, Danielle, and then you are, optimizing that, and then you're doing a great job with your content type. So that's really great.
Thank you. Yeah, I think like, and this is like a thing in, I think in marketing, I think it's in finance, like double
Mm-hmm.
down on what works. Like if it's
Mm-hmm.
working for you, like double down
Yep.
on it. Like
Mhm.
otherwise it's like if it's not working, like you would, I bet you would never tell someone to invest in something that they don't understand or don't know how to
Mhm.
do.
Yep.
And that's how, like, I feel like with video, like I'm not good at it. I don't understand it yet, so I haven't
Mhm.
invested my time in it. I've invested in double down in text because I know that I could succeed in it. So like
Mhm.
that's how I think about it.
Mhm. Cool. Okay, so I know. So you post. How often are you posting right now, Daniel?
Once or twice a day on LinkedIn.
Twice a day. Wow.
Mhm.
So how far apart do you space it if you do more than once a day?
Uh, like sometimes 5 hours, sometimes 10 hours. Depends on
Okay.
like how eager I want to post the next post.
Okay. Okay.
um,
So let's talk about content creation planning. So every day, you know what? I when I first started in October, I was actually posting every day. I always had content ideas. I think since I came to Vegas, I was been kind of taking it easy. So I haven't been posting every day. So I mean, when it comes to your content creation strategy or planning, like how do you go about that? How do you go about just thinking about new content, and then like do you plan that out? Because some people are very strict, like or they're just very structured. They have like content calendar, like okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like they kind of know, they kind of plan the whole month already. So I'm more kind of like go with the flow. So like whenever I walk around, like if I have an idea come in, like it's like some inspiration come in, so I'll type it when I get home. I don't bring my iPad with me, and then like I just type it in right away when I get home. So I have a draft, and then what I usually do, I will type up my content the day before, and then so in the morning, like I'll wake up and then just type it in. So I'm curious, like, what is your strategy and then your planning when it comes to content creation?
well, I kind of do the same thing as you. I write my post
Mm-hmm.
the night before, and I kind of do the same thing to you. I keep notes in my phone of, so like anything that I read, anything that I hear, any post that I find interesting, any
Mm-hmm.
conversations that I find great, any podcasts that I get inspiration from, I write in my phone. And then
Mm-hmm.
so now I have this like inspiration like board basically in
Mm-hmm.
my phone, which I like to call, like marketers call it a swipe file, where you
Mm-hmm.
swipe information of stuff. And like we went before, it's like sometimes it's better not to reinvent the wheel. It's sometimes like better to just innovate on the wheel. Like I'm reading this book, Cash for Advertising, right now, and there's like this example about like how um, Thomas Edison like created the light bulb, right? But he took
Mm-hmm.
1,000 times to do it. If you're gonna go
Mm-hmm.
create a light bulb right now, are you gonna start where Thomas Edison started? Or are you gonna take
Yeah, yeah,
a pattern that he
exactly,
did before and just
exactly.
make it
Yeah,
better? Like that's how
good
I
point.
think about content.
Yeah.
Like I think like you get inspiration from other places, and the more you
Mm-hmm.
consume, the better your content will be. So the more you consume books and stuff like that, because consuming, what it allows you to do is connect dots that weren't already there. So like if you double down on like just marketing content, like you can take an idea from somewhere else and connect it with an idea you just heard and be like, okay, these two pieces work together. But if you don't consume anything in that realm, there's no ideas to connect. Like that's where new ideas usually come from. Like people think
Mm-hmm.
they totally original. No, they just usually like two abstract ideas that people haven't connected yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like what I think about um, like creation of content. I think like don't reinvent the wheel. And also another thing that a lot of people don't do is repurpose posts that they've already written,
Mm-hmm.
because because
Yeah.
partly it's an ego thing and partly it's um like actually most of the time it's an ego thing, because it's like you think that someone's going to remember something you posted a week ago. You think your content is
Yeah.
that great that someone's going to remember something you posted a week ago.
Yep,
So
yep.
like I repurpose a lot of the stuff I post. And the
Mm-hmm.
people who are doing successful do it too. Like if you look,
Mm-hmm. Yep,
even
I repurpose too. Mm-hmm.
and like the content king on like who started doing this, Gary V, like like if you're in every single platform, and I follow him on every single platform, you'll hear the same stuff over and over. But as your audiences grows, they haven't heard that yet, so why not
Mm-hmm.
post that type of stuff?
Exactly, exactly. So okay, so when you repurpose, like how far back do you go? Like, because for me, what I do, I go back to 3 months, and I kind of look as like, when you post every day, you're like, oh, which one do I want to repost again? So how far back do you normally go?
um Sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 4 months, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
7 months. Like I just go back to where what I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that day, or like
Mm-hmm.
I heard something that's like usually like, and this is going back to listening to like, if I read my comments, so if someone's like talking about like they want more copywriting things, I'll go look at the copywriting post that I posted like 4 months ago. I'll take it, I'll add stuff to it, I'll remove stuff from it, and I'll post it, repost it, and it's like, okay, here's my new copywriting post. Like you asked
Mm-hmm.
for it, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like I part of it's like keeping up with it, and also trends. Like you could take a trend that's trending and take an old post, mash it together, and it's a new post. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
because you've
Yep.
already kind of talked about it.
Yep.
So it really depends, like how far I go back.
So what's the easiest way for you to find your content? Are you using a tool, or are you just like going through your posts and then going backwards? Because it's not the most efficient way to go back to just
I
go to the
I
history.
hope I hope the product people at LinkedIn are listening right now. Like the feature that I really want is to be able to search back at my content on LinkedIn.
That's why you have to literally use a third party tool. So
Yeah.
so I have my own third party tool I use. Like, do you use any third party tool?
The only third party tool, and I think everybody should use it, is Shield,
Mhm.
for like tracking your
Yep.
posts. That's the
Yeah, I
only
use
one.
that. I use it too, so I'm gonna post my link there for people who wants to try it out. Actually, I love Shield. Like I just yeah. So I'm to fully disclose. So I'm an affiliate, and I only an affiliate because like I do love the product, mainly because like it's ridiculous. Like my former neighbor in the Bay Area, he works for LinkedIn. He's in the product, and then like we're talking about like how there's just not enough product there to support content creators. So I think they're trying, but they're still kind of ancient when it comes to that. So they're trying to catch up. So actually, one someone I know who works at LinkedIn, he's a product and content, I think marketing too. So he was saying that they're working on more stuff to make it easier for content creators. So I haven't seen any new things yet, but so anyway,
No, I
hopefully it will
haven't
come.
either. I haven't either. But
Yeah.
but to say the least, I do. I mean, to say it, I still love LinkedIn. Like it's my favorite
Hmm.
like social platform out there.
Hmm.
Um, I think they've done a great job of building like a
Hmm. Yeah.
professional community. So
Yep, yep. I like it. I like it mainly, and I think a lot of people have voiced out that one of the reasons they like LinkedIn is because there's not a lot of political stuff. It's more professional. So I don't know how you feel about because like when the black thing happened, the Black Lives Matter happened. So it's like you don't really see that a lot. There were some on LinkedIn, but not a lot. But then like I've been given grief by someone like, oh, why don't people talk more about it? It's like but then the thing is that that's the reason people are on LinkedIn because they don't see that a lot. They don't want to see that because that's on Facebook or other social media. So it's tend to be more focused on professional platforms. So I don't know what you
yeah,
think about that.
I think some issues like that should
Mm-hmm.
be spoken up just to create awareness. Like if you have a
Mm-hmm.
voice that should create awareness on this platform, I think like it shouldn't go as far to be like a Facebook platform where
Yep. Yep.
but I think like some issues
Yeah.
that have came up, like I do respect the people that stood up and took a stand
Mm-hmm.
for like some of the issues that have
Yep.
going they've been going on for years. So I think like some
Yeah.
people who have a voice should be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And more people actually should be doing it. But I think like I don't think like your whole feed should be about that. I think like during
Yeah.
the period that sometimes you should just shut up and like not talk.
Yeah.
Like and then
Yeah.
sometimes you should um And the issues that have been going on lately, I think people have the right to talk about them. But other issues out there, I think like keep them off of LinkedIn. Like some of the
Mm-hmm.
like non-bigger issues out there, like that are just
Mm-hmm.
belong on Facebook. So
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, what do you think of hashtag? I'm not sure if you use a lot of hashtags. So, what's the strategy around hashtag, and then what do you think of its value when it comes to hashtag?
yeah, I think hashtags is a great way to help with your post. I think my theory is like 1 to 3 hashtags per post, and there's an easy way to research this. Like go to your search bar and put hashtag whatever you want, and you can see how many people are following that hashtag. Um, and that's how I base it. I usually just do hashtag marketing because that's my post about, and there's like 25 million people following that hashtag. So I think that's something. But like a lot of people will put like hashtag win the day and 5 people are following that hashtag. You're not going to get any like boost in
Mm-hmm.
your post to that. Now you're just using that to be like the crowd your post. So if you're strategic about it, research, do hashtag research on the toolbar and LinkedIn. Like put hashtag marketing, see how many people follow that. Put hashtag copywriting, see how many people follow it. My rule of thumb is like if over 100,000 people are following it, it's probably a good hashtag. So you could use that in your post.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, how do they go about researching hashtag and what's trending?
So I would say they do whatever their niche is. Like, so your niche
Mm-hmm.
is finance. So I would start putting posts around like hashtag finance or hashtag personal finance. Like, look at all the rounds, hashtag investment, hashtag all these type of things that are surrounding. For me, I look up like hashtag marketing, hashtag digital marketing, hashtag branding, hashtag copywriting, hashtag this to see like what people like how many people are following those hashtags in my niche. Like don't people sometimes go way too broad with that. Like they're very broad. Like they'll be like hashtag finance, hashtag vegan, hashtag healthy eating, hashtag. I'm like, this is has nothing to do with your post. Like finance is your post with
Yep.
that.
Yep. So, how many hashtag do you think people should be using?
I think 1 to 3 per post
Mm.
at most. Someone told me, and I don't know if it's true or not, so don't quote me. But like after 3, like the search engines and like LinkedIn don't pick them up anymore. And
Mm.
also, I honestly believe you do more than 3, it looks ugly on your post. They crowd your post.
Unless
Um,
you know how to hide it. I
yeah,
don't know.
unless you know how to
If
hide
you if,
it.
if you hashtag some word in your, I think in your post, I don't know. To me, that is okay. But if you put so much hashtag at the bottom, then it's like doesn't look very good.
Yeah, some people put like 20 hashtags and then they tag 30 people in their bottom of their
Oh
post.
yeah, I'm not into tagging. I actually very rarely tag. I just don't like it. Like you tag like 30, 50 people, and then it's like, what are you trying to do? Get attention from everywhere? Like you know what
I
I mean?
think I think tagging people in posts only work if you're doing like a list type thing. Like these are
Mm-hmm.
the top finance people to follow on LinkedIn. Here are their links. Go find them. Or
Mm-hmm.
here are the people who are doing the best blogs on LinkedIn. I mean on off of LinkedIn. Here are their names. Like give them credit, like shout outs. But when you're just trying to get people to come like your post, then it's like a weird strategy
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Yep, yep, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about engagement. So, like, what is your engagement strategy? Like, I mean, how much time do you engage, and then like, do you just kind of go to your feed and then just look at the whatever posts you find resonate with you, and you just engage with them? So, what is your specific engagement strategy? Because I know like any social media is all about engagement, right? Because like you can be a wallflower and just sit back and expect something to happen. So you actually have to go out there, engage with people, and it's a social media, so you socialize.
Yeah.
Mhm,
So there's two type ways of this. There's my own post, and my own post,
mhm,
I try to respond to every comment because that's like, and I strategically post before work so I have time to like do it, and then
mhm,
I'll post either when I have a break or after work, so I can be able to respond to people, because
Mm-hmm.
I really do care about that. There's the other side of things, and I think like I will comment on things where I can feel like I can provide value on that post.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think too many people will go like, "This is so cool," like and like
Mm-hmm.
leave nothing and I've been guilty of doing it, so I'm not hating on people who do it, but I think like when you engage, like share something that's like thoughtful or like add some value to that post. Like, and how I choose, it's like it's kind of random. Like I'll scroll, and if I find something interesting, I'll engage with it. Like I've seen some of your posts that I'm like, okay, this is something I feel like I can add value. Like I like it. I believe in this topic. Like I want to add value onto it. But that's something I don't like about LinkedIn is the more followers and connections you get, like the more crowded your feed gets of
Mm-hmm.
worse posts sometimes.
Yeah, and then I know. So that's the other thing with LinkedIn is like there's no such thing where like if with you, right? If I want to see your post that I want to like on Facebook, you can do see first. You can actually do the notification setting that I can actually see yours first. Like prioritize. There's none. So when I talk to someone on LinkedIn, the only thing you can do is unfollow people. But I mean, come on, like with my 70,000 followers, like I'm following a lot of people, like I'm gonna be unfollowing a lot of people. So that's like too much work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like I've come to the terms that that's not something that I could do. So I try to look out for content that I can add value to, and
Mhm.
um, I also love supporting like creators that are just starting too, like and try comment on their post to help their post as well. Because I truly believe like if you're starting and putting in the effort, like I want to, because I was there, and I appreciated the people who started on my post early in my journey. Um,
Mhm.
so I think like there's the two folds that I do with my liking and comment, but I think like I engage in people that I feel are posting stuff that I can provide something to
So
it.
you actually search for those people if you don't see their content, or like you
I
kind of
sometimes
just go.
do. I mean, like I've heard some people bookmark like 30 people that they want to engage in their.
Oh, so you bookmark those profiles you want to engage, and you kind of go through them like
Well,
daily
I
basis.
don't. I know a lot of people who do that. I think that's one
Okay.
strategy, but I will go search like there's 10 creators that I said at the beginning. Like I should
Mhm.
bookmark them because I go to their profiles a lot just to see what they posted every day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, and then I'll go and engage in their posts because I love their posts. Like, and I
Mm.
do appreciate them. And
Mhm.
if I don't see them in my feed, I'm like kind of shocked that they haven't popped up in my feed yet. So I'll go look and see like where are they? Like
Mm.
where is that
Got
post?
it. Got
Um,
it. Got
yeah,
it. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. So you actually specifically go to there and then like because you engage with them enough that they tend to show up on your feed.
yeah. If you engage with
Yeah.
people enough, they'll come up
Mm-hmm.
on your feed. So I try and also engage with the people that I do appreciate their content, so they can pop up in my feed a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so yeah, no, this has been really helpful, Daniel. So like for someone who just came on LinkedIn, like what advice would you give them like if they're just trying to build, like maybe they're just starting with like 100 connections or something. Like, what advice would you give them if
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, I would say just start. Like that's like the number
Mm-hmm.
one advice I give people. Just like don't overthink it. Second advice I say start niche. Like start at a topic that you know a lot about. That's like very like toward like don't go broad and start talking. One day talk about finance, and the next day talk about marketing, and then the next day talk
Mm-hmm.
about real estate. Talk about your
Mm-hmm.
topic.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, I would say is go follow, and this is a hack that I found, but it's not like the people that you are influencers on LinkedIn. Go connect with the people who like their posts because they're
Mm-hmm.
on like in the topic that you're talking about as well. So go
Mm-hmm.
connect with them. And they
Mm-hmm.
one because they like the topic that you like, and two they're engaging on LinkedIn, so they'll come back to your post. So um,
Mm-hmm.
do that as well. And I think have patience. Like it's not going to happen overnight.
Yep, exactly.
Just keep at it every single day, and you'll get to a
Oh.
point where it will happen. Like, and for me, like I never thought it would happen, and it just kind of just came out of nowhere, and I was kind of shocked about it. So, but I stuck
Mm,
with it every day. Like even days where I wanted to give up on it, and I was like, you know what, this is not doing anything for anybody. Like, I just kept pushing through, and I literally, and selfishly, I'm posting because I'm learning a lot.
mm,
That's really why, like, for a selfish purpose, that's why I'm doing it. Like, I'm learning from people's comments more than probably people are learning from my posts. So,
mm,
um, that's like, and then the last thing I would say is like, there's a quote that I saw that like, um, if you basically teach, which is posting on LinkedIn, like you'll remember stuff 90% of the time. So if you want to become great at a topic, post about it,
mm,
create about it, because you'll learn it faster.
mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
my quick advice for people
Okay.
starting.
I know you said you didn't really gain traction for 6 months. So like, is that how you were able to bring more people to come engage on yours by you engaging in them, and they like just suddenly like
Mhm.
kiss, they end up liking you, so they're actually coming to your profile now to actually check your post, or like is it like because your feed just started showing up on, I mean your
No, it
post
was
print.
that. It was that. I was engaging. I also started going very niche. Like I followed, like started just posting marketing stuff only. Like, and people knew like
Mm,
to come to my profile, like they were going to get marketing stuff. And
mm,
then I
got it.
also started studying what the people were doing that were great. Like I think you
Mm,
should sit down and like look at the people who are successful in LinkedIn and just
mm-hmm,
not reinvent the wheel, do what they're doing.
mm-hmm.
Does not
Yep.
mean plagiarize their posts. It means
Ah,
like,
yes, I've seen those people who plagiarize, and I think,
it means
yeah.
go and follow their structure. You could, I don't think it's bad. Like if you want to take an idea from my post, do it. Just tweak it a little bit, or just give the person credit for like that post.
Uh,
Just tweak it a
Nowadays,
little more. But like,
yeah.
um, but yeah, that's my simple advice for
Hmm.
this.
Okay, so Kit has a question. He asks, "What about articles? What's the best way to make that stand out?" So I know articles have a lower view. So when I asked my LinkedIn connection, he said that because not a lot of people click to the article, the view only kind of show up if you actually click on the article. So if you just like pass through it, it actually doesn't register as a view, and they say that's a bug. That's why people think it's like lower view. So what do you think about articles? And then like, what is their, I guess, what's their benefits, purpose, and how to make them stand out.
So don't post them in your post. Post them in the comments of the post, and write something about the article in the post. So be like if the post the article was about
Mhm,
like Harvard, like charging Zoom classes, like
mhm,
$50,000 of Zoom classes, right? Like crazy stat, like our crazy news, like Harvard is charging 50,000 for this, and like this is what
mhm,
they're doing. Like link in the comments to the recent article, and you probably
mhm,
will get more engagement than you actually
mhm.
would definitely get more engagement than posting the link in your post. So post it
Okay.
in the comments, like in the comment section.
Yeah, pretty much any link should be in the comments then.
Hmm.
Okay. So what if it's your article is in the LinkedIn article? I'm not talking about external article, but it's a LinkedIn article. So you're saying that, so somehow when you publish the article, it's like it's gonna be a post in the article. So you're saying that don't even do that, don't even
No, I
publish
think
it.
for those type of articles, LinkedIn loves LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm,
for those type of articles, it's going to be a different type of play, right? Because what's cool
mm-hmm.
about LinkedIn articles, if you search that topic, it will show up as SEO on Google. So like if
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
so that's it's serving a different purpose than your post. Like if I don't post an article, it won't show up on LinkedIn. So you're when you're posting an article, like it's giving the engagement might not be the same as your post, but you will get SEO purposes, and you can later say like write a post about it and say link in my comments to the recent article I wrote on LinkedIn about this topic.
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
another way people do it is like they comment on people who are recent,
Mhm.
that are talking about that topic, and they'll comment and say like, "Oh, cool! I just wrote about something similar. Like, feel free to check it out. Like, don't be too
Mhm.
spammy with that because I think it gets annoying. But like, that's another strategy to like get more views in your comments, and then
Mhm.
also distribution. Like, post it
Mhm.
on other platforms, like like bring people from other platforms to it. Like if you have an email audience, like send an email
Mhm.
to the audience and like say
Mhm.
check out my new recent LinkedIn article, and then
Mhm.
share, post it on your website. There's other
Mhm.
places to distribute that article to bring more people to see it.
Okay, so here's the thing. So the article, I make that into my own separate blog post too on my website. So are you saying so? So if I'm gonna send a newsletter, it's gonna be a newsletter to my blog, not necessarily to LinkedIn, because I feel it's inside LinkedIn. So what are you saying to actually share the actual LinkedIn article on the website? That's more like if your strategy is like it's all about bringing everyone to LinkedIn. So what do you think about that when it comes to, because I know, yes, you said there's SEO for, LinkedIn and stuff. So it's like, how do people strategize between like writing an article to post on both your website as a blog and article, or should they just leave that as an article on LinkedIn?
I think do both, like just repurpose it and
Mm-hmm.
make it a little different in both platforms. I think there's
Make it
nothing,
different.
make it a little different on both platforms,
Mm-hmm.
but you could take the same idea and post it on both. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
you've already wrote it. Why not like just distribute it
Mm-hmm.
in two places? And
Yep.
most likely your audience is a little different in both like platforms. So
Mm-hmm.
like your blog audience is probably a little different than your LinkedIn audience. So and there's probably people
Mm-hmm.
who will see your blog who won't see your LinkedIn, and someone will see. So I
Mm-hmm.
think distribute it in many platforms. Just change it up a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Like make it,
Yep.
my best advice is like make it how it works with that platform. And I think posting articles on LinkedIn is something people should do because if I Google
Mm-hmm.
that topic, it will show up. And even if it
Mm-hmm.
directs people to LinkedIn, like
Mm-hmm.
it redirects them to your name. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the benefits of writing articles. Outside of articles, like if you wrote an article on Forbes or your blog or something like that, um, if you're going to share that, make a post about it and then say, check out the article in the comments. That's how you would get more people to like it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Cool. All right. Well, Danielle, you are a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate you being on. So, how can people find you? Or like, well, besides LinkedIn. Okay, you are on LinkedIn, obviously, because we're talking about LinkedIn. So, like, where can people find you?
Yeah, so LinkedIn is where I'm most active. So you can always
Mm-hmm.
connect with me, and if you have something personal or something you want to, a question that you want to reach out, always you can reach
Mm-hmm.
out to me on the messages. I have a Twitter. It's dmer68
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter, and I'm actually starting a podcast soon. If you want to learn, it's actually up already. So secretly, I've already started, but I haven't launched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Marketing Millennials, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
bring on guests from like all different marketing sects if you want to learn more about marketing. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a amazing co-host, Emily
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson. So I would follow her too. She's a social media
Mm-hmm.
guru. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where you can find me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna convert this to a podcast as well. I also have my own podcast. So for everyone who doesn't know, it's the Life and Money with Christine Tay on iTunes. And yeah, Dan, if you ever need a guest, who's in the finance, let me know. I'm open to being a guest as well.
Yeah, that'd be
All right.
awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right, Dan. So I'm gonna tag you here on LinkedIn as well so people can find you. So I really appreciate you giving your Saturday morning to us. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. And then yeah, so everyone have a great weekend. Thank you. And thank you, Danielle. Bye bye.
Thank you.